Hello viewers, how are you? Welcome to my channel Physics with Rams. So today we are going to discuss about stress and strain curve. So before going to start this topic, those who are new to my channel, please subscribe my channel so that you can receive notifications regarding my channel, as well as you can watch my previous videos so that you can clear your concepts as well as you can solve as many numericals as you can. Remember one point, that learning physics is very easy. By analyzing, you can understand the physics in an easy way, so that you can understand the concept as well as you can solve many numericals. Let's start this topic, stress strain curve. As we had seen about stress and strain in our previous videos, just revising the concept once again. Stress and strain, what is meant by stress? Stress is nothing but restoring force acting per unit area of a cross section. We can also represent the stress in terms of a deforming force, whereas deforming force is nothing but force acted on the body in order to deform the shape of the body. So stress is represented as a force acting per unit area, nothing but capital F by A. Similarly, we can represent a strain. Strain is equal to change in the dimensions by original dimensions, where it might be along the lengthwise or along the area wise or along the volume wise. So based on that, we can represent the strain. Now we are going to draw the graph for stress and strain by considering strain along the x-axis and stress along the y-axis. So before going to discuss this, we just revise modulus of elasticity, where we know that the modulus of elasticity is equal to stress by strain. Or we can also represent stress is directly proportional to strain. Now here let us consider a wire, and I am going to apply load to that wire. As we apply the load, the body will deform its shape. Wire will deform its shape. As we remove the load, again it tries to regain its original shape. That is being represented in the curve by this line as well as up to point A from origin. So this OA line represents proportionality, or it can also represent this as it obeys Hooke's law. OA line obeys the Hooke's law. Stress is directly proportional to strain. Based on the stress, the body applies same amount of strain. That is being represented by the line OA, and here we can represent it as a proportionality limit. At point A, proportionality limit will be acting. After that, if the body is being deformed, the body does not obey this stress directly proportional to strain. Still it possesses elasticity. Means by applying a small amount of stress, the body will deform. The body will deform. As we remove the deforming force, again the body regains its original position. So this point B is represented as a elastic limit. It is represented as a elastic limit. So the line OB represents a elastic limit. Means here we are going to represent the elasticity by considering the point B. up to OA we can represent it obeys Hooke's law. From A to B it represents the elastic limit. Means here we can represent the stress is not directly proportional to strain, but still it possesses elastic nature. That's why this AB line is represented as elastic limit. Whereas if further the stress is applied on the wire starts deforming its shape and attains permanent set. The point C represents a permanent set. Means here as we apply the stress on the wire, the body will not regain its original shape. It will remain as it is in the same position. That's at the position at which the body will not regain its original shape or previous dimensions. V is represented with the point C, and here this point C is represented as a permanent set. If still the stress is applied on the wire, at point D, here what happens is the wire attains maximum tensile strength. At point D, wire attains maximum tensile strength. Since the wire has attained maximum tensile strength, by applying a small amount of stress on the wire, it starts yielding large, just like water flowing in the downward direction. If we remove the stress also, it starts yielding in the downward direction. Sometimes a wire will yield in the downward direction based on its own weight. That is being represented with a point D, and it is represented as a yielding point. If still the stress is applied on the wire up to point E, the wire attains a yielding point and starts breaking. So this DA represents the breaking point of the wire. Breaking point of the wire. So here in this way we can represent the stress and strain curve. As you observe the point C, where this point C represents the permanent set. Permanent set means for this strain, maximum amount of stress will be acting on the wire. Observe this. So that's why C is represented as a permanent set. This represents the strain acting on the wire, whereas the point D is represented along the stress. After that, this line up to D represent maximum tensile strength, nothing but maximum stress acting on the wire in order to hold the weight or hold the stress of the wire. Now based on this, we are going to discuss some more points regarding stress and strain curve. Take a screenshot, we will continue. Next, if the deformation between the elastic limit and the plastic limit is more, plastic limit is more, just like this graph. Here observe that the point A is represented this position, and here the point D is represented at this. There is a large space, deforming is more in between A and D. Then we can represent the deforming is more in this case. Such type of materials are called as ductile materials. Ductile materials. In the case of ductile materials, the deformation will be more in between elastic limit to plastic limit. Example for these materials are copper, silver, as well as gold. Whereas if the deformation between the elastic limit and the plastic limit is less, if consider biscuit, by applying a small amount of force it will break. Such materials are called as brittle materials. Brittle materials means after crossing the elastic limit, the wire will automatically break. It cannot deform its shape. Such materials are known as brittle materials. Example, glass, etc. Now, coming to the case of this elastic limit, we are representing a elastic limit. This elastic limit, it depends on nature of the material. Based on the material, we can represent the elastic, whether it is copper, silver or gold or glass or any other material, iron, it might be any material. Based on the nature of the material, we can represent the elastic limit of that particular wire, as well as it depends upon the radius of wire. Radius of a wire. Elastic limit depends upon nature of the material as well as the radius of the wire. Take a screenshot, we will continue. Now we are going to discuss about breaking stress. Breaking stress is nothing but a maximum stress which is acting on the wire so that it breaks, is known as a breaking stress, and it is represented as a breaking force by initial area of cross section. Breaking stress is equals to breaking force by initial area of a cross section. So come to the case, from this expression we can represent breaking force. Breaking force is equals to breaking stress into area of a cross section of wire, area of cross section of the wire. This represents the breaking force and this equation represents the breaking stress. Come to the case of this breaking stress. Breaking stress depends on nature of a material. It depends on nature of a material. Nature of a material. Whereas breaking stress is independent of length of a wire, comma, area of cross section of a wire. Area of cross section of the wire. So here we are representing that breaking stress depends on nature of the material. Based on the nature of the material, the breaking stress varies. whereas it is independent of length of the wire. It might be 5 meters or 10 meters or anything. Based on the nature of the material, we can represent the same amount of breaking stress for that wire. Length may be varied, but we can apply same amount of breaking stress on the wire. And similarly, this breaking stress is independent of area of cross section. Means here we can consider a thin wire which is having less area of cross section, or we can also consider a thick wire which is having a large area of cross section. Both possess same breaking stress if these two wires are made up of same material. Next, we are going to discuss about breaking force. Breaking force is independent of length of the wire. Length of a wire. Whereas breaking force depends on nature of material as well as area of a cross section. The breaking force acting on the wire is independent of the length of the wire. Means here we can consider a 5 meter length of wire or 10 meter length of wire. The breaking force acting on the wire will remain same based on the nature of the material. Whereas this breaking force depends upon the nature of the material, whether it is a copper, gold or glass, or based on that material here we can represent the breaking force. As well as this breaking force depends on area of cross section, whereas breaking stress does not depend on area of cross section, but here breaking force depends on area of a cross section. Here, based on this, now we are going to consider a wire. If we consider this wire can hold a weight W in the downward direction. Now I am going to cut this wire into two parts. Then each part of the wire can hold the same amount of weight in the downward direction. Since the wire is cut into two parts, each part of the wire can hold the same amount of weight. Now here we are going to represent one more condition. Observe that breaking stress is nothing but breaking force by initial area of a cross section. So it is represented as F by A, where force is represented based on the weight. F is equal to mg, and here we know that density is equal to mass by volume. Then mass is equal to density into volume of the wire. This volume of the wire can be represented in terms of area as well as the length of the wire. So now I am going to represent this expression as rho Al as volume. Now mass is represented as rho L. If we substitute this value, then breaking force is given as F is equal to rho Alg. As we substitute this value in this expression, here the equation is represented as rho Alg by A. Observe that A gets cancelled. Then breaking stress is equals to rho Lg. Breaking stress is equals to rho Lg, where rho is nothing but density of the material, L is length of the wire, as well as G is the gravity acting at that point. From this, the length of the wire is represented as L is equal to breaking stress by density of the material into gravity, acceleration due to gravity acting at that point. This represents the length of the wire by considering breaking stress. Take a screenshot, we will continue. Let's solve a problem based on this breaking stress. Observe the problem. Find the greatest length of the wire made of material of breaking stress. What is the breaking stress here? 8 into 10 to the power of 8 Newton per meter square, and density 8 into 10 to the power of 3 kg per meter cube, that can be suspended from a rigid support without breaking. So here value of G is given as G is equal to 10 meter per second square. A wire has been given which is being attached to a rigid support like this. We have to represent the length of this wire, whereas we know that length of the wire is equal to breaking stress by density into gravity. Already we have all the values. Let's substitute this. Breaking stress is equal to 8 into 10 to the power of 8 by density of the wire is 8 into 10 to the power of 3 into G is 10. Here also that 8 gets cancelled. 10 to the power of 3 into 10 to the power of 4. Nothing but 10 to the power of 4. As we bring this 10 to the power of 4 towards the numerator, it becomes negative. 10 to the power of 8 into 10 to the power of minus 4. Since the bases are same, powers can be added. 8 minus 4 is nothing but 10 to the power of 4. So here the length of the wire is 10 to the power of 4 meters. Take a screenshot. We will continue. Observe the next problem. The stress and strain graphs for two materials A and B are shown here. Answer the following questions. Observe that here stress and strain graph is given for two materials A and B here. Now we have to represent the following answers. The first one is, which material has greater Young's modulus? We know that Young's modulus Y is equal to longitudinal stress by longitudinal strain. Functional strain. Observe that here stress and strain graph for A and B are represented. As you consider this B, the stress is up to this extent and strain here is up to this extent, whereas the stress for A is up to this extent and the strain is up to this extent. So based on that, as we draw the stress and strain graph for A, it is maximum as compared to B. Based on that, we can represent A is having a greater Young's modulus. Greater Young's modulus. Also the second question, which material is more ductile? And we had discussed about this ductile nature. If the deforming is more in between elastic limit and plastic limit, then we can consider the material as a ductile material. Observe that here the ductile nature is from this point to this point for A, and for B it is from this location to this location. Since it has less deforming nature as compared to A material, we can represent A is ductile. A is ductile as compared to B. Next, observe the third question. Which material is more brittle? As compared to A, B is having less deforming. Based on that, we can represent B is brittle. Next, which material has greater tensile strength? Since it has more deforming nature as compared to B, A is having a more deforming nature, we can represent A is having a greater tensile strength. Take a screenshot. Please give a like to this video, share this video to your friends, and don't forget to subscribe my channel.